Hey, 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 everyone. Welcome to Unapologetically Badass. You are here with Sierra and our amazing, amazing host that we love so much, Renee.
Hello,
We are,
hello.
right? We are like, hello, hello. We are
Hello.
excited to just be here with you. You know, whenever we come on with all of you, we just love hearing from you guys. We also love just being ourselves. And sometimes we just need to have like those conversations about where we are in our life. And you know what? We do a lot of mindset, like get your mind right. Let's get over it. Let's go. Let's move. So today is breaking free from stress and exhaustion because Renee and I are in a place where, we're just stressed and exhausted. And it's okay because
Yeah,
as women, we all are there. Even if you're a man and you're listening, you're there. You've been there, right,
yep,
Renee? Like we've
yep.
all been there.
And
It's
we
just
have
how we get over
moments. We
it.
have whether it's days, we have moments, and it's just
Months.
before we recorded this, I told you I'm like I feel like I'm just in
Blech,
that bleh, like
blech.
and yeah, I'll get myself over it, but it's like fuck. Like there's just it just seems like it's all directions, and you're doing 5 million things, and maybe not seeing the fruits of your labor, come into
Yeah.
play, and it's just like mud on.
Yes, because when you're juggling those plates, you can only
Yeah,
look up. You can't look around your surroundings.
yeah,
So you don't see all the fruitfulness and all these beautiful things that are happening to you when you're juggling and you're looking up.
yeah,
But whenever they fall and you're done and you're able to look around and you see all the applauds, you're like, I did
yeah,
it.
yep,
And that is kind of where we are, is like right now we have all of these balls in the air and we haven't had a chance to just stop, breathe, and look down and look in
yeah,
each other's eyes and be like, okay, we're okay.
yeah.
She's talking about stress. I'm talking about I just need sleep, y'all. Like I just need sleep. And as a mom, like, don't you feel that way? Or just as like a business owner, or just you're mentally fucking exhausted,
I was telling
right?
Tony, so we started watching White Lotus season 3, and I've only as far as this episode, I've only caught the first episode, but without giving like too much away. But they're like in Bali, and they're at this, meditation spa, and it's kind of has that like eat, pray, love vibe,
Love it.
and I was like, oh, I
I need it.
totally yes. I'm like I want to run away. Does anyone ever feel that? Like, and when I say run away,
Yes.
it's not from the people that I love. I
No,
just
it's
want to
just
run
from
away.
life.
Yes.
Yes.
And I want to get this phone and toss it in a fucking basket for 2 weeks
Yes.
and
Yes.
just not look at anything. I want spa. I want Zen. Of course, my
Yes.
wine. I can't be too
Yes.
crazy, but
Yes.
just fucking like be done. I want to sit on a beach. I don't want chaos.
And you want your brain just to stop
Yes.
working for 5 minutes. Like,
5 minutes.
brain, just
Yes.
please stop. Just
Shut
stop
it
pulling
off.
me in all these directions
Yes.
because right now I just need to sit. But then you're like, no, I
Yeah.
need to get up and I need to do this. And oh my God, and don't forget I
Right.
have to do that. And don't
Right.
forget that this. Oh, girl, did you put this on your list? And then like Renee and I were like, what are we talking about today?
Yeah.
Huh? What's happening? Wait, where are we?
Where are we? We end up spinning and spiraling out of control, and it's very easy to go down that path. But I mean, I know both of us, we then, come back and go, okay,
Yeah.
all right, like how, and that's something that we had to train ourselves to do, to kind of allow ourselves to spiral for a bit and then reprogram our mind, take the breath, do the exercises that we want to do in order to go, all right, badass bitch is back. Okay, we're good. Yeah,
I know, like our like biggest strength and against stress is the ability to reset your mind.
yeah, for sure, for
And
sure.
it is so mother freaking hard some days. And
So,
you really have to reset
yeah,
because it could just it causes burnout, and
yeah,
burnout is a way that like stress and burnout are two different things, and we can have another conversation later about burnout, but you definitely do not want to get to a burnout point
yeah,
as a mom, as a wife, or as an entrepreneur, or if you're just going to work on a regular basis. That's just not healthy for anybody.
No,
Stress,
it totally
can't,
affects your health, and that's not cool.
absolutely.
Yeah, affects your health, and you can't do that.
And
I'm
I feel like
starting to
that's really
Oh, sorry.
go
I was thinking, like, one of the things that I did in the past that I stopped doing, that I'm
ahead.
going to start doing. So I'm gonna challenge everyone who goes through these, like, mind fucks,
Moment.
right? That we have these moments, um, self-induced, right? Because we all know we're badasses,
Time,
so it's
one more
most of the time,
time.
right? But schedule a text message or email to yourself from yourself.
Mhm.
Whether you schedule something like you are fucking awesome. Don't let the day go, beyond you knowing that you have accomplished so much in such a short period of time. Don't
You
forget, like,
slayed
give yourself,
yesterday.
yes, give yourself something like, you know what, put your big girl pants on. You got this. Fuck them all. Like, whatever you want to say to yourself. But if you
Yeah.
schedule that in email, you can actually schedule to go out to yourself every day. And so you have this like little daily reminder, or you set it up as a task in your Google Calendar, something that pops up every day to remind yourself, you know, so that when you get into those moments, because they can happen often, they can just creep in like this,
Yeah.
they can just creep in. And so when you get those messages, you're like, wait a minute, that's right. Kind of like my
I find
miracle
like
morning stuff that I do. But
and
this
you
is
know what? I love those ideas because I actually find like when I get really, really stressed out or exhausted, and those kind of go hand in hand because a lot of my exhaustion is from the stress of just like day to day or doing things or just trying to juggle millions of things. I like whenever it's all said and done. I don't know about you, Renee, or our listeners. I am more motivated once it's done. Like,
Yes.
once I can get over it
Mhm.
because that stress kind of like that energy and toxic and all that craziness,
Yeah.
once I just shut up, like
Mhm.
shut my mind up, just shut up and I get past it and I teach myself to get to that great point, all of a sudden I'm like all these great things come from it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like, gosh darn it, again, it was juggling in the air and I
Yeah.
couldn't see because I was only looking up. And then whenever I took a second and I looked straight ahead, and then all these great, and then now I'm like, okay, now I'm busting it out. And now
Right.
I got all this energy. And now I'm like,
Right.
ooh, let's do this. Ooh, let's do
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
But it's just those days. And I know for me, sometimes it's like minutes of just like, and then a switch turns on and
Yeah.
something just like you'll get a call from a customer, or you'll get a sell, or you'll get, like one of those badass emails, like
Yeah.
from your own
From
self.
your own
And
self.
then you're like, okay, what am I doing? Let's
Yep.
go.
Yep.
And,
But I allow myself, and do you allow yourself to sit in your
my swamp,
exhaustion and your
yes,
yeah, like I put myself in a timeout, and it's my
yes,
timeout, and I'm like, I own it and it is what it is. But whether I'm
yes,
like scrolling or have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee, I like go for a walk, or you're just doing something, stretching, whatever it is, but allow yourself to have this little
yeah,
timeout, put some music on. We talked about that before, but
yeah, the
allow
music is
yourself to sit
wonderful.
in that. Yeah, that's really important.
Something that I've started doing as a grandma is when Eris is with me, and it has, oh my gosh, like I am a completely different person, is I give him this.
Yeah.
And he'll play games on it. And no,
Mhm.
not the whole time, but like he'll be like, "Mom, can I play games?" When I give him this is my stress. This is my
Yeah.
anxiety. This is
Yeah.
90% of my exhaustion because
Yeah.
my whole business, my whole life,
Right.
everything is a schedule. Everything is this is what you have to do. This is where you have to be.
Mhm.
So when I give that up to him, it's kind of like, they say whenever you pray, leave it at the feet of Jesus, right?
Mhm.
Just give it to him, put it
Yeah.
in a box and leave it at his feet. I mean, it's as a Christian, it's easy to not do that all the time. I try my hardest, especially at night, because that's really where my praying is done.
Mhm.
I should do it more during the day, but most of my praying is at night. And that's where I'm like, here, Jesus, here, it's all yours. I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
this is like me leaving it at the feet of Jesus when I give this phone away. And you know
Yeah.
what I've had to do, Renee, is if I take a nap, quote unquote nap, or I just need 30 minutes. I'm the kind of napper where I could just get 30 minutes and I'm up and I'm
Oh,
refreshed.
I wish I could. I have never been a napper. Never.
Neither can my husband. My husband can't do it.
I can't nap. If I fall asleep,
Yeah,
if by chance I was to ever fall asleep during the day, I wake up more exhausted than I did
that's
when I
him.
fell asleep. So I just don't do it.
That's
I
him.
might put my feet up, I might open a book, or I might just watch a little bit of TV, but I will not. I
He
can't.
is so you. He can't do it, so he never lays down with me. Like, baby, I just need a second just so I can stop. And I say, honey, will you take my phone?
Oh,
And
yeah,
he'll take it. And sometimes I don't even sleep. I just lay there and I meditate and I
yeah,
just without this.
yeah.
And it has just been like, it's just changed my world
Yeah.
because I
Well,
give it
this is
away.
evil, and the fact that I hate Apple right now too, so that makes it when you're in
Oh,
Appledale, you hate the damn company. So,
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry if my dogs are barking.
that's okay. Who let the dogs out?
Could you hear them? I mean, did it really sound like that? Who let the dogs out?
Hey, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What see, that's just part of the stress, right? Like, we
I
don't have
mean,
soundproof rooms,
well,
people,
that's
okay?
the
We're in
thing,
our
right? When
closets, we're
you
in our little
yeah.
offices.
You're working from home, you're doing anything where like then you have interruptions or the dog is barking, or somebody's at the doorbell and you're like, "I found I'm trying to get something done or I'm recording," or for those of us that are growing on social media and working that angle and we're doing this and we're like, "Oh fuck, I got interrupted." And it's like, "Oh, that was a good take."
Yes,
You
you're
know?
like, "Oh, shoot, that was a perfect picture, you ruined it."
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, back
Yeah.
to this daggone phone. I mean, yes, it's a blessing,
Yeah.
but it can also be a curse. So whatever you have to do to just let it go,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Well, and that's the thing. We as women, we try to be superwomen, right? We do it all. We want to be able to do it all. We say we're going to do it all. And between people pleasing, like it's a real thing. It's tough to say no.
yeah, it is. It is tough to say no. I mean, it can be very, very, very challenging. And I
Yeah.
know that we talk all the time, Renee, about like we were brave enough the day we learned to say no, but
Yeah.
sometimes you get warped into it again, and those old tendencies and old behaviors and that old, like that oldness. Not that
Yeah.
we're old, okay, people,
Yeah.
but those behaviors, those old behaviors, you go back into those routines, you fall back into it and
Yeah.
you don't want to. So then you kind of like snap out of it and you're like, why?
Yeah. Well, and what's funny? Something that just dawned on me, and this happened in like a former career, and I won't say the company. But oftentimes it was this battle of justifying your existence, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that, in today's work environment, and justifying your existence as an employee so
Mm,
that you're basically showing them what you have to prove to them your value, right?
yeah.
And so those words really resonated, and even through when I was a stay-at-home mom, I would feel guilty for not like I felt like, okay, I need to make sure the house is clean and I'm cooking dinner every night
Yeah.
and I'm doing
Yeah.
this and I'm doing that. So this way here I can justify my existence as just a
Yeah.
stay-at-home mom, right?
Yeah.
So
Just.
just
Mm,
and
mm.
I know, and I want to like I wish I could go back and slap that right out of me and go like,
Yes.
"No,
Yes.
sleep when the baby's sleeping. It's okay if your house a mess. It's okay if you smell like vomit. It's okay." Like I can't, not that I can't wait, but I hope to instill that into
Or
my
just get
daughters.
eyeball to eyeball with your kids on the ground. Like,
Yes, yes. The rest of it doesn't matter,
yes.
but that whole justify your existence, I think, has if I look back, probably has stayed with me. And so it's that constant, like, okay, I got to keep on doing and keep on going and keep on going. And then you hit a wall
Yes.
and you're like,
And now here you are, you're exhausted again, you're stressed
Yep,
again, you don't know how to get out of
yep.
it, and you're just like, "OMG." I
Oh,
just saw, American Idol is airing, and it's gonna be out by the time that, our viewers listen to this, and Carrie Underwood is now the new,
judge,
judge on
yeah.
there, and there was a person that came in and she goes, "I'm just a stay-at-home mom." So, like, she
Oh, true.
devalued
Yeah,
herself for coming on the show.
yep,
Right? Because she thought she's just and Carrie Underwood said, "First off, I wanna stop you right there. Don't ever just say, 'I'm just a stay-at-home mom.'
right.
Never,
That's
right?
yeah.
I'm just an entrepreneur,
No,
like,
I'm a
or
boss ass bitch.
I just have a little boutique."
Yep.
No, you
Right,
freaking don't,
right,
girl. No.
right.
Yes, we have to
Yeah.
stop undermining ourselves because 'cause that'll be the cause of even more stress.
Yes, for sure. But that's the thing, stress, exhaustion, we know we have to put ourselves into perhaps a little timeout
Yeah.
and do the mindset activities in order to get ourselves out. And,
Mhm.
I was listening to podcasts earlier too, and it made me think of when we were having the conversations, like, how do people, like, when do they have time to listen to podcasts? Because we tend to overfill our calendar.
Yeah.
But it's those things, and whether you're listening to a couple of minutes and going, oh, like, okay, I feel a little bit better now.
Yeah.
So if somebody is listening and this helps you, like, hopefully you realize, like, you can take a break from reality, which is so often needed. And
We're super women.
yeah,
Wouldn't you like, we are,
yeah,
Renee, right?
yes. That's why we're
But
the
we
ones that have babies and men don't.
yes, but we can't, like, solve world peace or cure cancer in one day.
Hmm.
So, as a female, as each
Well, I
other,
think if we
as
we could
businesswomen.
if we wanted to,
Okay.
right? So let's just
Exactly.
backtrack because I just think we can do whatever the fuck we want. If we make the decision to do it, ain't no stopping us.
And that's where I was getting to, like, it's okay to say, "I'm not going to solve this today.
Yes.
I'm going to solve it, but maybe it's going to be next week
Yep.
because right now this needs my attention more."
Yeah.
That is okay. And
Yeah.
so, like, we have to realize that, scientists are discovering things every day, and we're discovering things about ourselves as moms, as wives, as women, as entrepreneurs, as business women, I mean, we're
Yeah.
all discovering new things about ourselves every day. So give yourself the permission to just sleep in.
Yeah,
Just
for sure. And like you said, just reschedule what it was that you needed to do. If it's not
Yeah,
earth-shattering, if you're not in the right mindset to get something done, you're gonna do a shitty job on whatever that task
you
is. So
are.
you are
Yes.
just better off putting that off until another day, without a
Yeah.
doubt. And I was out with one of my girlfriends last night, my best friend, and it was long overdue. We trying to get together for regular dinners, and it's like, "Oh my god, we so needed this." It was so nice to get out and, like, just chat and talk about life and what's going on and reconnecting. And, we were even talking about, like, what is it that we how do we want our lives to look like at our age, that
Yeah.
work-life balance stuff so that you can help
Good
reduce
stuff.
stress, right? That stuff. And, like, ho now I'm lucky that I live very close to the ocean. And
Mhm.
last summer, I didn't go to the beach once here. And I'm like,
Oh.
"That is
You're
shameful."
like, "Why? Why?"
Because I was scheduling more and more stuff, filling my plate and going, "Okay, this isn't serving me." Like, I
Yeah.
enjoy what I do, but you can't just do the work and not do the enjoyment. So,
I think when you're exhausted and you're exhausted. See, I said exhausted because I'm so exhausted because, like, but I'm not. I am
right,
energized, I'm excited,
right.
I'm good. And that is where I'm telling myself, it's like, no, you have things to do. You have
Yeah.
people to help. You have a business to run.
Yep.
I have to tell myself this. You get excited. You are fulfilled when you have a place and these things happen,
Yeah.
right? So that's how I keep going. And whenever you said just like taking that second to like just do that, like take those
Mhm.
moments, in the midst of that exhaustion and stress is where I say I need to do it.
Yes.
And it's like, I feel like I wouldn't schedule more of it if I didn't have those reflection moments of, remember when you were really stressed and you just kept like adding more and more and more on, and then you made yourself exhausted, and then you didn't take time to go to the beach.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm
It's
totally
the
I'm
reflection, that
it is. And,
reflection.
yep. And some people journal to write those things down so that they remember it. I am definitely going to be, like I said, emailing myself, texting myself so that I have my daily reminders for sure. I also have a girlfriend of mine gave me this. Um, she thought of me. You'd love it. I'm pulling it up
Oh,
for those that can't see it. It is a fuck it calendar.
I love it.
Isn't that great?
Oh,
So now
yes.
from March, it's bad bitches have bad days too. I mean, how right?
Oh, that's so
How cute is
perfect.
that? And at the bottom it says it's a beautiful day to leave me the fuck alone. So we all have our moments. I thought this was
I love it.
hysterical. So
I
it's
love
stuff like
it.
this where you pull something like this out and it just makes
Yes.
you chuckle and you're like, okay, like this too shall pass and it's all gonna
You know
be
what? You said something about my girlfriend sent this to me, and I am overdue for 2 dates with 2
good.
of my girlfriends that mean the world to me. And every single time we go
Well,
on a
3.
date,
Hello.
well, yes, you, but I get to date you every single week. It's just not how
Not
I
in
want to touch
person.
you. I'm like, I want to touch you. No, okay, we'll talk about that later. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to touch her. Huh? Okay, no, you guys are going to take that all wrong. Anyways, but you're women,
Wait,
so
it might
you'll
get the view
appreciate
count up. So, at this point, I don't know. It's either that, feet pics. What do we got to do?
yeah, so I just want to stroke her hair. No, okay. Back to what I was saying, Renee, before you made my head go in the gutter. Okay, so I'm overdue for 2 visits, and it's like I get this like intense energy whenever I meet my friends, and it's
Yeah.
just like our lives just are so. I'm
Yeah.
doing this, I'm doing that. Oh, okay, can you meet on this day? Can you meet? And then when we do, we're like, oh, I needed you, I loved you, thank
Yeah.
you. And then you're like, why did we wait a month to do
Right.
this?
I
Why do
know.
we do that as women?
Because
Why?
we've got so
We know
much.
what's best for
I
us.
know. I know. And we put that last because we're like, because we get exhausted and we're like, oh, at the end
I
of
don't
the
wanna go
day,
hike at 7 PM.
right? And in the winter, okay, if it's dark out, I'm not driving. Like now I'm at that
Yeah,
age where, for fuck's sake, I've become that old lady like that won't go out because if it's dark out, I don't want to drive in
right.
inclement weather, blah,
Can't
blah, blah, blah.
see,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
I mean,
turn
my
the radio
eyes,
down so you can
so I
hear
can
better?
turn,
Yeah,
yes, get off an off ramp and the radio's got to go down because,
yes.
it's, isn't
You
it funny?
stop at yellow lights now. I mean,
Oh, I went through a red light the other day. So I'm the opposite of stopping. I'm the like,
oh,
oh, so hopefully there was no camera, but I did go through it. I didn't realize it until after the fact, but I was like, oops.
I've gotten one of those pictures because I didn't realize it was red either. I'm like, really? I'm like, we're in Texas. You guys all go through yellow lights, but it must have been red.
Oh, yeah, because
My
yellow,
husband's like, he's like, that's your car. And I'm like, who's driving it?
yeah.
He's like, you?
Oh, oops.
Oops,
Sorry. Sorry, honey.
I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. No,
Anyway, back to dating our friends. And,
it's
it's
so
just that
important.
refueling.
Yeah, because when we get exhausted, it is that refueling. And,
Yeah.
whether we're with friends virtually like this, like you and I getting together, it's like, okay, great. Like this, oh, we got this. We might be exhausted and stressed, but guess what? We're badass bitches. And when we get done with this, we're going to go on to the next task and we're going to do it.
Yep,
And we're going to happily do it because we fucking love what we're doing. So
exactly.
these things really do help. So, hey,
Yeah.
everyone, go get a podcast because it definitely helps. But,
Yeah.
you
Or
know,
just get an online bestie that you want to touch. I mean,
exactly,
whatever
exactly.
you want to do.
Reach out to Sierra and I. We're touchable. Ooh,
It's
reading.
funny because it's funny because okay, so I'll tell you guys a little story about Renee and I touching. Okay, we have not been able to. We have not been able to give each other a proper hug. Okay, this is
No.
our life, and that is okay. But we
Yeah.
did a podcast, and we have a young lady that was on with us, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going to be in Houston." I'm like, "Great, let's meet." And Renee's like, Wait, but you and I haven't even met.
Right.
So like we're meeting other people that are on this show before we even meet each other. So something is wrong with this, friend.
Something
Something is
is
wrong.
really wrong with this. We have to figure this shit out
We
because
have to
there
figure it
has to
out.
be lots of hugs and
Yeah.
wine and what
Lots
just
of wine. Lots of
it
wines.
would
And
be
I'm just even envisioning just like, mask under our eyes and freaking cheese and wine
total
and
slumber party.
chocolate and PJs and really,
Yeah,
really cute fluffy shoes. I
yeah.
don't know why. Whenever I hang out with you, that's what I envision.
I think that's gonna be perfect because I love that. Like that, yes. So we have to do this. And so people that are out there, when you're stressed, when you're exhausted, find your bestie and
Yeah.
figure out when you're gonna do that because that's the fuel that really is just so good for our souls. Just
It
so
really,
good.
really is. It
Yeah.
really, really is. And just not allowing your mind to stay, I say stay in the gutter, okay? Like
Yeah,
don't allow your mind to stay in the gutter because
yeah,
the gutter is gonna cause more exhaustion, right? Like the
right.
gutter collects trash. Like you don't want any trash in
Yeah.
your life. Don't cause the trash
No.
if you if you can avoid it, okay? Don't leave the trash. Take it with you, put it in a
Yeah.
trash can. Whatever you can do to just let it go.
Yep. Be like Elsa,
Yes, yes, yes,
right?
yes. Because the key to dealing with stress truly is honestly being able to just stay cool, collect, calm, and then
And that's something that I in my past, I have gotten better, but my Italian Portuguese, I can go
right.
from 0, I can go spicy. So Tony calls me Nene. He calls that
Yeah.
side of me Nene.
Yes,
So
you have 2
there's
sides.
I have
Yes.
2 sides. There's Renee, and I think I'm loving and kind and sweet and
She
wonderful.
says, "I think, people, I think."
And then there's Nene. And Nene
Mhm.
comes out and it's like you don't mess with Nene. But I think, I've generally kind of calmed down a little bit as I've aged. I think I
And
have.
well, and I again, I think it's mindset and learning. You're
Yeah,
learning new techniques, and so you keep Nene inside a little bit more.
I
You know,
do.
I always just joke and say, "Don't bring the ghetto out." Like, I grew up
Okay.
poor, I grew
Yeah,
up in the ghetto, and I'm like, "Okay, I can go back there, do not bring the ghetto out of
yeah,
me. This
yeah,
little
yeah.
nice, sweet girl is gonna go gangster on you right
Yes,
now."
yeah, yeah, for sure.
So as you grow and you get older, you're like, "I don't need to bring the gangster out. I'm good. I'm just not gonna worry about that. Who
Right,
cares?"
right. But the worst part, it usually happens, with driving. Nene comes out when I'm driving because people drive like assholes and total morons,
Well,
and they're
up
on
there
their
they
phone.
do. Okay,
It's
if y'all
terrible.
don't know, up there, up in that northeast or
That Northeast
northwest area, they be crazy.
yeah,
They are crazy,
they're
okay?
terrible, and they piss
It's
me
not
off,
like
and
down
they're in
here
my
in the
way.
South where you wave at people and you say, "Hey, how you doing today?" No,
No,
it's not like up there. They are honking at you because they want you out of the freaking way, or they want you to
I'm
stop being an ass, or
yep,
they want you yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm a honker, and Tony's like, "Please don't honk, like, you're gonna get us in trouble. Somebody is gonna go because people are crazy now," and he's like, "You don't know if
Yeah,
somebody's gonna, like, jump out of their
yeah,
car and beat the shit out of you," and I'm
it's
like,
true.
I I have that total I can't say New York, but it reminds me of, like, a New Yorker
Oh,
attitude, even though I'm in Rhode Island,
oh,
but
yeah.
that's kind of
But
like
all of it, Rhode Island, Boston,
yeah,
Pennsylvania, New York, I have been
yeah,
up there, and it is scary as shit for a
yeah,
Southerner. Because, like, in New York, if you're walking on the road, like, you don't have the right of way, the cars have the right of way.
yeah,
Those taxis, they will run your ass over,
yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's
like
a real
Frogger.
thing.
It's like that game Frogger, good
Yeah,
luck trying to cross the street. And it was
and
funny,
I
so
got
I keep on saying I need to move to the South. My best friend, we had gone
yes,
to South Carolina a few
yes,
months
you keep
ago.
saying that.
And it was so wonderful. I transformed to such a lovely person, and I was waving to people, and I was stopping the car and letting people go, and I'm waving. There was no, like, asshole beeping. I became nice, and I was like, "Oh, I think I need some sweet
I
tea,"
have
and I
a Southern charm.
Yes, I embraced it. So I think it certainly is environmental,
Very.
has a
Yeah,
lot
because
to do.
when I was traveling up north,
Yeah.
where you were from, Nene came out. Up
See?
And
So
I thought living in Korea was bad because these big old, like, bus drivers, girl,
yeah,
they're crazy. They are crazy. Korea is so crowded, they're so overpopulated, so, like, you
yeah,
can't it's I mean, and you think, like, big city, but it's like that everywhere, and so I thought living there, like, that was, like, one of my experiences, I was just like, "Oh, I was terrified."
yep.
No, go to the north, the Northeast, yeah,
So
you'll learn
see,
a lot.
you just made me think of everyone has a little bit of Nene in them.
They do. They do.
Nene, badass queen. We're onto something there, girlfriend. Mhm.
We are onto something. It's definitely it comes out in
Yep,
everybody, especially okay, like as a mom, think about when somebody messes with your kids. That little kindergarten that pushed your kid. You're like, I'm gonna go to jail because I'm gonna just beat
well,
up this little kindergarten. And then you're like, oh God, okay, bless me. What was I thinking? Baby, are you okay? Oh, bless
yeah,
his little heart. And then you get back. Or the girl, like when your kids are teenagers and you have girls and they tease your daughter or they tease your son and you're like, "Oh, that's it. Oh yeah, nay nay." So we all have it.
yep. I'll never
Yeah.
forget, I almost got kicked out of a basketball tournament.
My son told me to never speak again in a baseball one. So what did
Yeah.
you
Well, if they push my fucking daughter, like, I'm gonna get pissed. And
do?
so,
I know,
I
I
mean, I
know.
enjoy basketball and I understand some of it, but I don't understand all the rules. So I
Mhm.
will say
It
any
was a foul,
contact with
obviously.
my daughter is a foul as far as I'm concerned. Anybody touches her, I'm like, "Get your fucking kid off of her," right?
She's like, "Mom, it
Yeah.
happens."
Yeah, and then I would be that mom. Do you remember the movie Grease?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay, I love the movie. So you remember
Yes,
the
me too.
secretary at the
Yeah.
football games, and she's like going like this because the coach is going, "We're gonna rip them," and she's like doing
Yes.
that was
Yes.
me in the stands. So
Oh
if
boy.
my daughter was on, if she was sitting out and sitting on the bench, her and her friends, oftentimes I could see them. They're like pointing at me and laughing and giggling because I was like, like, get away. And I just have those like
She really doesn't know what she's doing, what she's
no, I
talking
have
about.
no idea. No idea. But yeah, that's Nene would want to come out sometimes and I had to be careful because
And to hold it in, hold it in. Yeah, when my son got teased, I instead of me taking it out on the kids who were teasing him and bullying him on the playground, I just went to the principal and I said, "My son is going to teach them a lesson if you do not fix this." And I was like, "Son, do you understand what mommy's saying?" "Yeah, mom, but I'm gonna." "No. Do you understand what I'm saying?"
yeah,
And I basically told him, "You make those boys pay. Like, you
good.
make sure." I
Yeah,
said, "Do you feel confident? Do you feel confident that you can
yeah,
make" He goes, "Yeah." And, like, he had like, it was egging in him. His nay was like he wanted to, but he's such a good kid.
yeah,
But when mom gave him permission, I said, "You tell them once, and then you tell them again, and you say, if you do it one more time." And the principal, I'm saying this in front of him, like giving him this, and she's like, "Ma'am, you can't do that." I said, "Excuse me, then what are you gonna do about it?"
yeah, yeah. No, I love that. I love that. Everyone's got a
Yeah.
little Nene.
They do, they do,
Mhm.
they do, and, stress can induce it, Renee, stress can
Stress
induce it. I
can
think the most
absolutely.
is, like, when we're the most stressed and exhausted, I think we take it out on the ones we love too. I hate
Oh,
to say
of
that.
course. Of
Ugh,
course. But it's finding those things that what we can do to help get ourselves. It's recognize like you said, it's recognizing that we're in our moment
yeah,
and finding tools or strategies to help us get out of it. Some people color, even adult. I was talking to a woman on my team, and she
mhm.
does the adult coloring books, and
I
that,
love
yeah, yep. And
her.
she just takes a few minutes, takes 30 minutes a day. She does this. It kind of decompresses that her cup of tea. I'm like, I love that. I think that's
That's so
fabulous.
cool.
Yeah, and it's okay.
Absolutely.
Like it's not having 5 shots of tequila.
Yeah, yeah, don't get into the bad. For
Don't get
me, I
into
like I
that.
was telling you, before we came on, y'all, I was telling Renee, I was like, "God, I haven't exercised." For me, that is like my like it just I release and I'm like, "God," and I just I couldn't find the time to do it. So now what's happening? I feel exhausted because I
Yeah.
haven't exercised. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, if I just would do it and I would just make it happen, then I
Yeah.
wouldn't feel this way. I would be energized and excited and all that, like all that inner stress and
Yeah.
tightness. It's like this, like my husband says, I have a corkscrew inside me. And whenever I'm anxious and I'm stressed or things are not going right, it tightens. And
Yeah.
that's where Nene is,
Yes.
right? Renee,
That's
Nene's
a
there.
good, yep.
So when you do things that are productive, like coloring or talking with your girlfriends,
Yep.
or, I don't know, some people
Yeah.
have sex with your
Yeah.
spouse, like that might like just decrease it, right? Exercising for me goes shh, and life gets back to normal.
Oh, I love that. And see,
Yeah.
you're a decompressor. So anyone that, is stressed out there or exhausted, just get a hold of Sierra and I, and, we'll help decompress you.
We might tell you to fucking just get over it, but
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Renee's biggest flex is put your big girl panties on and let's just go,
Let's just
right?
fucking go. Yes. So one of the things that I was thinking about doing is having like a quote of the day. And while I was doing this, like I have this with my badass queens and I have quotes out there and stuff, but I was thinking of
Mhm.
doing like recordings of each quote and like have it
Oh.
so you can just listen to it. Just get the quote
Mhm.
every single day. So I have to figure that out. But see, there's other things like my mind just goes in 5 million different directions.
Books are made by people doing that. I
Mhm,
mean, there are books just filled with
mhm,
quotes, right?
mhm.
So, funny, my husband said that we should write a book of all like the Southern sayings. Like
Yeah,
pull up your bridges. Like which ones do people still use?
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fixing to do this.
Yep, yep.
I don't know. It's just funny. I mean, it's amazing what happens with words.
It
It's
is.
amazing what
It
happens with.
is. Yep. I had a girlfriend that was like she loves I post them on LinkedIn and because
Yeah.
they're bold. I mean, they're using, I'm dropping F-bombs. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like I'm
Yeah.
holding back. It's badass queen. And she's like, and this is
Yeah.
a really professional woman. And she like giggles, going, I absolutely love seeing your
You
quotes.
fuel me.
Yeah.
You fuel me. You
Yeah.
make me just wanna walk into work and open those doors and be like, "I'm here,
Right,
bitches."
exactly. Fuck it. Because a lot of times in, corporate world, that's where wearing our masculine side, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
the femininity
If
of
you're in a male
you're in a
dominant,
male-dominated
corporate
world. Yeah,
world, you definitely have to, yeah.
absolutely. So when you're hearing these, fucking and, badass bitches are bad, like whatever that is, you kind of go, oh yeah, like that's who I am. Yeah. So just saying those words kind of fuels you. So anyone, just tell yourself you're a badass queen, badass
Yeah.
bitch, and that's gonna make you feel better.
And I have to train my mind to tell myself opposite. If I tell myself I'm exhausted, I say, "No, you're energized, you're fueled, you're doing amazing things." I have to tell
Yeah.
myself, giving like for me personally, like telling myself I'm a badass queen. I don't necessarily still believe it because I still have like my nerdy girl
Mhm.
from my childhood trauma where I don't know, like where I'm still trying to deal with like, okay, are you beautiful? Are you strong? So hearing
Yeah.
those, I don't get as motivated as quickly.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like excited, like, yes, I am. Yes, I
Mhm.
am. Like, yes.
Mhm.
But I need to mentally hear the opposite of what I feel like I'm going through because it is just a feeling and it's just a moment. It's not reality.
Yeah. Well, your brain will believe what you're telling it. So if you're
Yeah.
telling yourself that you're exhausted, you're gonna feel
I'm
exhausted.
going to
And you
keep
tell
feeling.
yourself that you're energized and you're accomplishing so much and I'm a badass queen and I'm doing this and look at everything. That's that self-talk that we do that goes like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I might be working in my office in slippers, but yes, I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the sweatpants on. I'm just saying, just in case you
Oh,
guys were
yeah.
wondering.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I actually have pants on, but they're totally wrinkled, so I won't show you the bottom, but nobody will see them, so
You're so amazing. You're better. You're good. You're great.
absolutely. Yeah.
We got this. We are going to slay the rest of our day. And if
Yeah.
you guys are listening to us, we want you to slay your day. And if you just have a moment of exhaustion or you have a moment of stress, do whatever you need to do, whether it's coloring, dancing, singing, listening to music, listening to a podcast, whatever it is that you need to do to just be alone with yourself. Give your phone to a significant other, your grandchild, whatever it is that you do, to just say, I am amazing. I'm a badass. I got this. This is just a moment in time.
Yep.
I am not going to sit and stay here. Right,
Exactly.
Renee? We're not
Exactly.
going to sit and stay here.
Yep. Mic drop.
We're just going to fuel right on through. And we cannot thank you all enough for listening to our show week after week. You guys do not know how much it means to us. Please share with a friend. We really, really love hearing from you. We love you just messaging us and
Yeah.
just reaching out and saying how much you're enjoying it. It means everything to us. We cannot wait for you guys to join us next week as we just bring you more entertainment.
Yep.
But what you want, tell us what you want to hear. We can't, we just love talking and we love talking to each other. So if there's anything that we can do to support and show our love to you, that's what we're here for. So have a great week. Keep it unapologetically badass. And until next week, bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. All right, Queens, that's a wrap for today's episode. But before you hit pause, let's talk about you and how we can help you slay every part of your life. If you're ready to feel fabulous and look like $1,000,000, I've got you covered with my badass queen coaching, sparkling touchstone crystal jewelry, and Bella Grace collagen, because glowing skin and a sparkly vibe, that's a power move. Check it all out at reneecarbonefleming.com. And my co-host Sierra, oh yeah, she's bringing the heat too. Not only is she rocking Bella Grace collagen for her glow game, but she's also the queen of chic with her fabulous clothing boutique. From boosting your wellness to leveling up your wardrobe, Sierra's got the magic to help you shine inside and out. Check her out at Linktree/Sierra Whitener 7. So here's the deal. Head to our websites, grab the goods that'll help you live your best life, and let's make everything about you unapologetically badass. And hey, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with your fellow queens, because the more sparkle in the world, the better. Until next time, keep glowing, keep slaying, and remember, you're a badass queen who deserves it all.